This.
What do you want to talk about?
This should be the thumbnail. Oh my God.
We don't have it in the South.
All right, come on. This is a podcast. We're wasting perfect content.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Welcome to the coldest episode of May the Zoo Be With You, America's favorite TCG podcast. I am here with the king of drunk lemonade, drunk tea, Louis DeGeorge.
This was my surprise for you. I didn't tell you when I said
you drinking unfiltered beer.
No, this is sweet tea with moonshine, West Virginia moonshine.
Oh God, Louis is gonna go blind.
Well, you don't drink the moonshine just by itself.
I don't think that prevents you from going blind.
It's West Virginia. It's fine. Welcome.
And
you just got out of a 12-hour car ride to Chicago.
So fun fact, it is actually 13 hours thanks to the time change. And I was not allowed to fly because I had pneumonia. So
George told me the other day. Wait, can I tell the story?
Yeah.
George's doctor. George, I'm glad that this makes me so happy. George's doctor told him that he can't get on a plane because he might explode.
In fairness, he said you have some pneumonia, maybe not a little bit, like around the edges. And he's like, I was like, well, I have to go. I have 2 meetings in Chicago that are not optional meetings. I have to be in the Windy City, the home of the former world champion Chicago Bulls, might I add. And he was like, well, here's the problem. Because there's a 1 in 10 chance you're going to be in agony your entire flight. He goes, that might be okay. Because there's a small but significant chance, a 1% chance that something could break off and you could have a massive stroke. I'm like, well, if there were 100 Jelly Bellies in the bowl and one killed me, I would drive to Chicago. And that's what I did. I drove to Chicago. I am now in the Windy City, about to eat some of the deep dish pizza that Mike hates, which is the worst part about Mike, I learned.
Wow.
Yeah.
Deep dish pizza is fantastic. I don't know how you could hate it.
Here's my test. If a piece of pizza can't have enough calories for a week, why am I eating it? What's the point of this?
Well, I'm glad you got there safely. I'm sorry that I'm sorry I wasn't available for our phone calls today.
No, that's fine. We talked for 8 hours yesterday, but I'm glad today when I was driving for 30 hours, you were like, all right, you have 2 minutes. What's up?
Yeah. I had 5th day in a row with my kids. It was all hands on deck today.
It sounded like it. I'll be honest. That's I called other more better friends.
There you go.
So wild week in the TCG world, I would say.
Yeah, lots of stuff we're talking about today. We're going to talk about the SCG Con for Flesh and Blood. We're going to talk about Kamigawa, which is on fire. We may hit Brilliant Stars a little bit, and then we're going to talk about Metazoo, our Metazoo 45 minutes.
Goat. So SCG Con was a little bit bumpy, I would say. So let's go through it a little bit. But listen, let me first start with I don't think it matters. The first event not firing was not a great start to the weekend, I would argue. Not because they didn't have enough players.
It's hard. It's hard to evaluate.
Well, they didn't seem to advertise that event very well. I don't know who decided that Super Bowl weekend was a great weekend to have this in Philly. That maybe could have
had some effect on it.
Well,
I don't know. I have no clue what the level of TCG player to Super Bowl ratio is.
I watch 1 NFL game a year, but I would not miss that 1 NFL game a year. That's Super Bowl. I wouldn't miss it.
I don't know. But there was 800 Magic players, so I'm not sure that really affected.
That's true. That's true. That did not help us.
Here's I think I just don't know what the event was supposed to be. I was talking to a lot of people this week about it because I was trying to figure it out. I agree with you. I don't think it matters, and I think our take on this is going to be actually a little bit more positive than people probably assume right now. But
haters ain't gonna hate. We love lovers gonna love. We are Virginia. Virginia is for lovers. Louis.
I think my take on this is it doesn't matter that much as an event.
West Virginia is for moonshine and Virginia is for lovers. Continue.
Like, I don't think it matters that much as an event, but when I was trying to figure this out, like anytime something like this happens in the Flesh and Blood world, I'm messaging you, I'm talking to you, I'm talking to Sean from Team Kitchen Fable is usually my opposite of you take, just trying to figure things out. Cody and Ken, some people I just like asking things. And in my conversations with them, I was like, they were like, well, it wasn't a major event. It wasn't really supposed to be competitive. And my reaction, I sent them what they said. They said, this is from LSS, battle hardened events are going to be featuring events around the world throughout 2022 with the goal of bringing high-level Flesh and Blood events to communities around the world. We want to make Battle Hardened a really exciting series, and so we put together a great package of prizes for the tournament.
Yeah, and Battle Hardened fired with like 100 people in it, roughly 112, I think they said.
Yeah,
and like you know, listen, I just again, like I don't know, I have no earthly idea why you would have your first major Flesh and Blood event on Super Bowl weekend.
Yeah.
Like this didn't make sense to me. But it is what it is. I mean, here's why. And for those who are wondering, why doesn't it matter? It's because, like, listen, like Pro Tour is in April.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters.
Yep.
That's all that matters. Like, listen, I suspect there will be at least 3,000, probably closer to 4,000 people at that event.
Dang.
James White returns. James White returns to the land of the free with his hair, which has always been free. If there's one part of James White that has always been free, it is those locks. And I suspect he'll have 3,000 to 4,000 competitive players there. You know, it's people coming from across the world for this event.
Yeah.
Which is also like why like Bravo destroying the universe right now isn't a big deal to me. It is early in the meta.
Yeah.
You know, listen, if Bravo is 5/8 of the table at Nationals, or sorry, at Pro Tour, Houston, we have a problem again. But
I agree.
Listen, I think it'll be 3 of 8, 2 of 8. You know,
the 5 of 8 Bravo thing. This was Bravo star of the show, which Starvo is his nickname.
No, that is the dumbest nickname. We have to do better as a community, I think.
You and Kellen can get together and come up with a different name.
Drippy Bravo.
I've been saying Drippy Bravo too.
That's all I'll say.
What Drippy means. Anyway, if Bravo being top 5 of 8 isn't what worried me.
No,
it was the player who top 8'd with Bravo who had never played a TCG before and started playing Flesh and Blood a week ago.
And that's not the best part. Yeah, get to the best part.
And had an illegal deck and had 2 cracked baubles in his deck as a result. Like that to me, that was the only thing about this weekend that I was like, ooh, we're gonna have to talk about that. Because the rest of it's like I think you could chalk the rest of it up to like marketing. You could chalk the rest of it up to the low attendance up to like people not wanting to reveal their deck lists or not knowing what to build because Everfest just came out. You could chalk it up to people holding out for ProQuest and all that stuff. But like,
well, I mean, like, so I would say 2 things. Like first, like, and this is going to be the constant problem, right? Is that like I think that's actually good because it means that maybe that's an extreme version. I'm not sure you should let somebody who just learned what a card game is 3 minutes ago play with an illegal deck and win or get top 8. Like maybe that's too extreme, but like it's good that like they have an accessible hero. Now the question is like, is the accessible hero too powerful? And like that we're going to find out at Pro Tour.
Yeah. I will say that I read the individual's Reddit post about it, and he does come across extremely well spoken. So like maybe he's like a mathematician. You know what I mean? Like that's like maybe
you understand that you can be good at numbers and not words, right?
Yeah, like, sure. I don't know. I'm good at everything. You just set it up.
The only thing that I really did not like from the weekend was the no coverage thing. They apparently SCG wanted to do coverage, and LSS said no coverage. This has been floated around as a rumor forever. Like I have no idea if it's true, but it's been floated out by people who I think would know. It's publicly, not just like in secret forums. And like if that's true, I don't get it. Like I don't know why you. Like, even if it's a smaller event, like, what's the money got to do with it?
Oh my gosh, dude, streaming that stuff is so expensive.
Just like have a dude with a camera.
No, like if you're gonna do, this is what I mean. If
I think SCG wanted to do it though. Like that was the rumor.
Well, I am not the
somebody who worked for SCG. I think I'm remembering this right. Don't hold this against me if I'm wrong. Posted on Facebook.
No, blow him up in the comments if he's wrong. Blow him up. We need that algorithm trigger.
No, that's fine. Yeah, go ahead, blow me up. I won't read the comments, so it doesn't really matter what you do.
You read a lot of the comments.
I read the comments this week. Yeah. I got bored on Sunday after I was like saw the light after I was not diagnosed with pneumonia yet, and like somebody they wanted to stream and somebody offered to stream for free, Louis, and apparently they weren't allowed to, and I don't get that. Somebody said it was like here's the problem. Somebody said, "Oh, it's the most competitive card game you can't watch," and I think that hurts, and it's like not unfair.
I completely agree that it hurts and this is where like accessibility to the game as a non-competitive card player, if I want to learn like watching the games again. But the other issue with any card game, but specifically Flesh and Blood, is that if you're going to watch it, you need it to be high quality content. You can't just have a camera thrown up there. Like people who are into Flesh and Blood can watch just a camera that's thrown up there and doing it. But if you want to reach the next person or reach new people,
do you think is watching Battle Hardened that's not already into Flesh and Blood?
Oh,
who is that person?
The reason you do coverage at events, in my opinion, shouldn't be for the people who are already franchised into the game. It should be to help promote the game.
No.
Listen, why am I always on podcasts the only person that cares about reaching the new people? Like every podcast I do, Josh was the same way. He was like if you are scrolling
wait, boo. I'm not saying you shouldn't work to reach these new people. I'm saying the way that they're going to get into the game is not by watching a battle hardened event.
I think it's a great way, watching the top players play. That I think is great. My point is, if you're gonna do content, anything worth doing,
Red Zone Rogue or Noxious's How to Play videos, which are great videos, by the way. Go check those out. Shout out to Noxious and Red Zone Rogue and DM Armada and of course Yazi.
Anything worth doing is worth doing right. So don't just throw a camera up there. If you're gonna do it, you have to do it right, and you have to have people who are, commentating, and you have to have that's a lot of logistics to get done. Like the team for Channel Fireball. There was you would. Yeah. It'd be horrible. It'd be great. The team for Channel Fireball, it was a massive team. I talked to them because then I did a video after Vegas where I was like, why didn't we have card images on the screen? Like that seems like a huge loss to me. And a couple of them reached out and they're like, hey, it's just a lot of work. There's already a big team. Like, listen, I mean, to do it right, it is a lot of work. I understand. Like, you think that content just magically appears out of midair?
Just do it right, like I do.
So, I mean, like I think I think money is a huge facet to there. Where you're saying that Fab told SCG that they couldn't do it. I'm saying I bet you that SCG said no, it's too expensive to do.
That is not what people have said. That is not what people posted on Facebook. That is not what people posted. But okay. I don't know. I'm not there.
Whatever you read on Facebook, Boomer.
What do you believe? I heard you told your whole collection. Is that not true?
That's not true.
So yeah, I mean, listen,
way too much Flesh and Blood still.
Facts. So I mean, I don't know. This was it was a bumpy event, I thought, but I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. One event matters, and that's in April.
Yeah. And I think also you have a lot of people who are already preparing travel. This is where I think the size of the player base is going to really come into fruition this year, where man, there's so many events that you don't need to go to. You can't go to all of them as a player. We saw some people trying to go to all the callings last year. A decent amount of people try to go all of the callings last year, but if they're doing as many callings as they're talking about, and if they are I think your numbers man, there's gonna be a lot of travel this year.
I agree, but listen,
I'm already seeing people selling cards. I had somebody reach out to me the other day to sell me an alpha box because he wanted to pay for his next couple months of travel. I was like, ooh, the market's gonna affect this again.
Please stop, everybody. No more travel.
No more travel. Don't go anywhere.
Lock us down. I need it.
But I think it's going to be interesting to see how big these events are as a result of there being so many of them.
Listen, the one that matters is the one that James White shows up to.
Yeah.
Like that's the one. Like that's how we will know how Fab is doing.
Yeah.
If that event is 3,000 to 4,000 people, we're booming, baby.
Yeah.
If it's 1,000 people,
yeah. I'm going to Vegas. I don't think I'm going to New Jersey.
Have they announced Vegas?
I'm holding out, baby.
So like, I'm glad it's like you're gonna show up one random weekend with your box of like Monarch Unlimited. I'm ready to play.
Do I want to go to
some Monarch Unlimited?
Do I want to go to New Jersey or do I want to go to Vegas?
Yeah, well, I mean, they're betting on that New York City crowd. That's why I think like 3,000 to 4,000's likely.
Yeah, I have zero interest in going to New Jersey.
Me too.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Anyway, I also can't. I don't think I can go that month. I'm trying to work it out with my wife, but yeah, I have a wife and kids that I have to ask to go places. I can't just up and go. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was that big of a deal. I do think it's gonna be super interesting watching Starvo. That's to me, the numbers don't matter. To me, the question is Starvo.
I will say he destroyed my CC event.
Really? Yeah.
So here's what we missed. I blame myself as the only professional player. Did not.
I know exactly what you're gonna say. Can I guess?
Yeah.
Somebody said that they can activate Starvo 8 out of 10 turns on average.
Yeah. I thought that he could be interesting because he like can play every card in Flesh and Blood, basically, give or take. But like
minus half the card pool.
Yeah, but like, listen, he's more than anybody else by a lot.
Yeah, he's got the biggest card pool.
But I did not think that you'd be able to fire off his ability with any consistency. And boy, howdy, was I wrong. That Seeds, not Seeds, Crown of Seeds, is
I'm not sure that if you are firing off his abilities super often that you're playing him in the way that people are building him right now, though. Like, you might not be.
I think you're wrong.
Well, we'll see what happens. I still think he's going to be.
We just saw what happened. We'll see what happens.
No, that doesn't count. The meta hasn't had it. You just said this. You just said this. So obviously you believe it because you said it. Like, you just. The meta hasn't had enough time to react to yet.
But that doesn't mean you'll play him differently. That means you'll be able to counter him differently.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think his ability is going to be hit often.
Yeah. The nice thing is, like, you can't errata or ban Starvo. You just can't.
No.
It's the most expensive card in the set, other than the cold. I
don't even care about that. You can't do it 3 in a row. We're not playing tic-tac-toe.
You're not going to do it. We're
not playing tic-tac-toe. No 3 in a row. You don't win if you get 3 in a row.
You can't do it. Nobody should even be asking for that, because I want Everfest to continue to hold.
If you ask him to ban the hero I'm playing again, I will hunt all of you down.
Are you doing it? Are you going to build it?
I will hunt all of you down.
Wait, are you gonna be playing in New Jersey?
If somebody gives me their invite, I'll be there. I'm gonna have James White sign my Starvo and a Metazoo card for me.
Are you gonna play Starvo? Is that what you're gonna build?
Like, everybody will.
I love it.
No, I think I keep hearing what's it called?
Prism?
Yeah.
Illusionist? Yeah.
Prism.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. The meta this next two months is gonna be wild, watching everybody show up. The problem with Flesh and Blood, and like maybe I just never was connected to a TCG in this way, but the amount of people that are holding things back for the Pro Tour, like the final thing, it's wild. Like, it's
this is where you'll see that, like, even like the Pro Quests, like, you're not gonna see top tier decks.
No, nobody cares. Like, nope.
They've all got their invites already.
Which is like why, like, I don't understand the Pro Quest season. Everybody already got their invites.
I mean, because like what I think it is like it's a way to get in, right? It's a way to get in if you don't.
Oh, there's more ways.
Yeah, if you don't.
Okay,
grind.
So it's not locked yet.
No.
Yeah, gotcha. No. Okay,
but like, the top tier players like myself will get invites through grinding. We can grind, and then we don't need to win it to get in it.
Right.
So I'll play my B tier deck. Shout out to Briar, and I'll save my A tier deck for Pro Tour.
What was the top 8? It was 3 Bravos,
5 Bravos. You're doing great. 5 Bravos.
In my head, it was a 5, but
2 Chain and a Briar.
Gotcha. Some Marine Blade love. I'm surprised no Viscerai. I've heard Viscerai is pretty powerful.
Me too. I want to see that kid's deck who had like 2 illegal cards. That's the only deck list I care about.
I want to have him on the channel. I forgot to ask
Yeah.
him. I've been too busy this week.
You're doing great.
I know. I suck at content. It's all right. All right, let's move on.
Did that be the
Kamigawa.
intro?
How was your pre-release for Kamigawa?
The biggest one since Ikoria.
Since Ikoria, how did it compare? I'm curious. How did it compare to War of Spark?
We were in a store then, so I don't know.
Oh, so bigger. Yeah, at least
Bigger.
it meant something. Our pre-release was smaller since I went to a one in at Paradise where I play, where I used to play. It was smaller, but like the store hasn't recovered from COVID. Like there's like nobody. Like when
Neither have I.
like the store just hasn't like that. So it's really hard to compare. But
I mean, like, listen,
this is the set I have not even been excited for a set since War of Spark. Like
how was your pre-release? Did you get the foil land?
No, I got as usual in my polls. I got those. Everyone hates me. There's no good polls for Louis. Like it's always, if I was opening for a patron, I'd open something good. But I'm opening a collector box tomorrow for a patron. I'm pretty stoked. It'll already be out by the time people watch this.
I like this set. This set is a banger. Like, let's call it what it is. This set is a home run. People love it. Like the lands are amazing. We didn't do a sound test, by the way. That just hit me. This is going to be all echoey.
No, it sounds great. I've been watching it on the monitor. I'm good.
That's what you said last time. We were all echoey like a month ago.
We were not.
Right.
We have not been echoey for at least 3 months.
Okay. That's
since episode like 10 or 15.
We're on 30. It's like not that long ago.
And Mitch isn't here, so
yeah, the sound will be fine. Shout out to Mitch, R.I.P. So I think, listen, this set is amazing. The art is great.
You were saying about the lands, which is important.
The lands.
This is the Charizard. Lands are the Charizard of Magic the Gathering.
So like these lands look amazing, and people just collecting the. Which
lands are you talking about?
The basic lands.
Okay.
People are collecting the living S out of them.
How rare is a foil basic land?
Not rare.
Okay.
I think I got 4 or 5 out of my
collector
set booster. No.
Oh,
I don't open collector boosters. What am I? Daddy Warbucks.
I thought you were 1%er.
I only open Metazoo. This is the first thing. Oh my god, this is the first non-Metazoo I've opened.
You know what I've been doing?
Oh god, that just hit me.
I've been replacing my Magic islands with Metazoo foil islands from spellbooks.
You're gonna have to replace those with a cracked bobble when you go to nationals. Just FYI.
Yeah.
Like anyway. This set looks amazing. People love it. Home run.
Okay, but I think here's my pushback to you. It's not just the basic lands, it's also the rare land cycle is really good. And like that's what makes a set. Like your basic lands are great, but like look at what was that set? Not Zendikar. What was the other one? Theros Beyond Death had those cool lands. But like that set didn't have the rare land cycle that wins. And like that this
was my
set
first flop as a store was Theros. Yeah. I remember calling my store manager. My store manager called me and he was like, hey, we have a lot of boxes. I'm like, well, that's good. You should be selling them. He's like, oh no, the event's already started. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
That set was brutal.
But when you have a rare land cycle like this, that is, and this is where Magic gets their issues. Like Magic knows that the game is inherently flawed. Oh my gosh, White Castle. I've been watching so much Impractical Jokers. The White Castle episodes are the best. Anyway,
my name is Sal. Come around.
Like Magic understands that it has a problem in like the lands, and this land cycle, the rare cycle, it comes in as a force basically, but then it also has an ability, so it's also like a card. And like when Magic does things like that, the set sells because that in Commander those cards go nuts. I hear there's a couple cards that are being used in Vintage. Like the power level is pretty high too. So it has a lot going for it.
I agree, but let's everybody needs to find their zen on this a little bit too. Like it's a great set. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know if we're gonna see a lot of vintage staples. Well, time will tell.
Well, here's the key. Like, it's a great set, but it's also a standard set. So they're gonna print it. They're gonna print it to oblivion.
This is the first good standard set since Ikoria.
The question is, because I haven't really ordered much Magic until now.
They printed a lot of this.
So what happens with collector boxes? Are we going to see a reprint of collector boxes? Has that ever happened?
Yeah. It used to happen all the time. Now it doesn't as much.
Okay.
But
so
I think
that's where this set could be fire.
My distro still had some, which is very, very rare. Like, they printed a lot of boxes, which is good.
Yeah.
Which is good. It's a great set. They should print a lot of it. Like, I love you, Rudy, even though I'm going to talk about why I don't love you in a second here. But I overall normally love you. But, like, man, you're wrong on this one, man. Like, let's let the people have their collector booster boxes. I'm all about it.
I think collector booster boxes are... The problem is the last 3 sets have been trash. Like, the last 3 sets have been horrible. That's
not true. Go buy some Crimson Vow, collectingblood.com.
Can you actually buy Crimson Vow at fleshandblood.com?
No, but you can.
Oh, you got to put it up. You got to put it up by the time.
No, that's how Game Boy hates me. I don't want him to hate me any more than he does. He loves me. He just doesn't know it yet.
He'll know when you go get his autograph.
Yeah.
There's.
Is it wrong? I don't want his autograph. I just want a strand of his hair. Is that creepy? I feel like that's creepier, but more honest.
Are you gonna make me edit this out?
No.
That's weird.
Think,
I don't want to talk about James White's hair anymore.
That's all I want to talk about.
So
some of the old cards, like some of the cards of you have all like the presidential cards, and like you have cards that have strands of hair. That's what I wanted, James White.
That's weird.
That's the new Fable.
I don't know. I just think the set is good, and it's coming off the back of 2 really bad sets. Maybe 3. What was before Innistrad?
I have no idea.
Was it? I can't remember.
It was Innistrad times 5.
Was it Zendikar?
Maybe. No idea. I don't remember.
Zendikar was a good set. But
all Magic sets, Blur, and Standard.
Because they do a billion of them.
Yeah. I have.
Oh, it was Modern Horizons, which was a good set. And then it was Crimson Vow.
Oh. Yeah, I thought you were talking about Standard only.
Yeah, but that's the point. Is like this is the first real good Standard set in a long time. And so I think there's a lot of weight there. It's gonna be fun. I actually downloaded Arena the other day. I don't have any intentions of playing it, but I at least downloaded it so at some night at 2 a.m. when I'm like, in a
drunk on moonshine,
I can hop in and
drunk on tea and moonshine. Let's play some cards, baby.
I can hop in and play some Arena if I want to, which won't happen. I'm not sure I even remember my password, to be honest. So you can't get those things back. It's impossible.
Really?
I'm just joking. All right. Kamigawa. I can't wait to open it. All right. What do you want to diss on Rudy for a second?
Rudy, you screwed me on this one. Dr. Rudy, I blame you.
But he saved you on the next one.
He's saying that he will not carry the last couple of Magic sets because they're dogs. Rudy, that was unnecessary. Some stores still have way too many.
Some of us have to keep them.
Some of us have a pallet of it in their store that has sold.
Some of us don't get that option.
I will bet you I have sold a case in. Oh, I mean, I think I've sold a case since like the week after release. I have a pallet of. I have a pallet of each kind of box.
That's horrible.
Oh, thank you. I didn't know that.
That's great.
And now Rudy's like
UNMONOTIZED.com.
Yeah. Thanks, Woot.
Which are just returns.
God, I hate Amazon.
Yeah, that whole thing's. I do not understand that. Like that's the type of stuff that Wizards has to get under control because it's like
they don't care.
They just don't care. They're just like F it. You can buy returns.
They take the same amount of money, but they don't care.
Yeah.
Oh
my gosh. That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know.
But then he saved you with Pokemon. So like Rudy, he dissed you. And he saved you.
His Pokemon video was wild. It was great. It was like the Pokemon bear season was over. I'm like, yeah, that was
a week and a half.
Yeah, it was like great. Those were a stressful 2 months for me, Rudy. And like
this next set, like this is where like, man, you've got great lands in a Magic set. Meanwhile, you have a Charizard in the Pokemon set. Like this is gonna be a wild 2 months.
I think that's true. I also like, and I would caution to all my beloved store owners to like take Rudy with a grain of salt on this one a little bit.
Yeah.
What Rudy is maybe not saying as overtly as maybe I think he should, nothing but love Rudy, is like boxes for Pokemon should be like 110.
Yeah.
They're not going to go back to 180 to 200.
Yeah.
Ever.
They're still printing
in a meaningful way.
Well, and a lot of stores really did like bail out. I know 2 people who had Pokemon like break channels and Pokemon and they're just like, oh no, I can't do it. I'm out of money.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I remember telling people like this is like the inevitable result. It's like it takes one bad set, and I'm like, listen, like, you used to have to take Pokemon to get more magic.
Yeah,
things changed. This new set looks great.
That's crazy.
Why Evolving Sky is going to the moon randomly?
Well, the question is, are they going to print more of it?
Let me tell you, no company, none, zero, has a better reprint policy than Pokemon.
They just can do whatever they want.
They can do whatever the hell they want. They could reprint base set tomorrow.
Yeah, I hope they don't do that.
I hope they do. Screw you guys.
Stop it.
There is no universe in which the base set reprint matters to the base set price. None.
Well, you mean like if they just printed the same thing, it would matter? They'd have to put a different
Evolutions,
logo.
Which was basically that.
They did a completely different logo on it. All you need is one little stamp. That's all that matters.
You have to have a different gift. See, you have to different corporate, different
That's true.
C. Yeah,
that's true.
I know.
So you're such a store owner, though. You're just like.
That's true. I do like giving I do like giving players cards.
Yeah,
that is true. That is very store like of me.
You and all your Pokemon players.
We used to draft Pokemon. That was brutal.
That sounds horrible.
Well, like
we talked about this last episode.
All right, that was great.
Go ahead. No, tell them now.
No. Go watch last episode. Go watch last episode. Screw you guys. Watch the whole catalog. This is episode 4. Enjoy yourselves, idiots.
That's your favorite one. That's where you.
No, number 3 is the best one. Number 3 is one where I called exactly. Number 3 is where I could see the future, and everybody hated it, but I was right.
That is not what happened. Number 3 is when I said that Metazoo would be 1K before Monarch, and you said, I guess, yeah, maybe. That was your exact reaction.
It made me so sad to be that. It made me so sad it was that obvious. I'll be honest.
I called Metazoo to 1K. I did. It's all right.
I don't want to get into it. Hope the Lord just calls me home.
He's close. He's dialing
closer every day.
The phone's ringing. You just gotta answer.
I could have flown.
I was just gonna say, get on the airplane.
I'll fly home. So the tricky part is I could have flown home because I have the medicine. It's like a 5-day medicine regime, which I think is nonsense.
So sell your car in Chicago, then fly home.
No, seems like. No. Want to talk about my car real quick? I could use some advice from your viewers.
No, I don't want to talk about the car.
My car is now worth $8,000 more than I paid for it, despite having 30,000 miles on it now.
That's what happens when George drives a car.
Should I sell my car?
Go for it, buddy.
I think I should.
Just sell 1% of your Metazoo collection and buy a Lambo.
No. My wife yelled at me this week. That's why I'm in Chicago. And
it's not.
No, it's not. But like, he did not love my Metazoo collection.
Yeah.
I gave her the Valentine's Day box though, so that was okay.
I did the same.
Yeah,
I gave it to my wife inside of another present though. Like I got her a purse, and then inside the purse was an umbrella because she needed an umbrella and a Valentine's box. Well, to be fair, I may have broken her last umbrella, so
you broke her umbrella, then got her an umbrella for Valentine's Day?
Well, like I got her a purse too. At least I didn't get her flowers. Flowers are the dumbest gift. Flowers are horrible.
What's wrong with you get?
Huh?
Flowers are great.
Flowers are a terrible gift. You know what's much better gift than flowers?
Umbrellas.
Chocolate covered strawberries.
That's true.
Much better gift than
That's
flowers.
True.
And her dad bought her chocolate covered strawberries, so I got to eat one.
So just to recap here for Valentine's Day, you ate your wife's chocolates and then gave her an umbrella that you broke previously.
And a purse and a Metazoo
set.
Valentine's Day box. And her card was an empty Metazoo Valentine's Day box. So, double. And remember that I have 2 kids, and life is much different when you're 2 kids.
I don't know
Valentine's Day.
I don't know if it's
I was watching
I'll be honest.
Noxious. I was watching a Magic the Gathering deck tech from Noxious today. It had it on the background. He was talking about Valentine's Day. He was like, Valentine's Day is basically just like when you have 2 kids, just like a check-in. It's just like, you still love me? I love you. We're good. Like we're just, like, it's just like anyway. Moving on. It was good. It was good. It was What the Deck with Noxious and Tower number 9, or not day 9, not Tower number 9. Why are they all 9s?
It's like the opposite devil.
Okay, I don't understand. All right. Oh, because 6.
There you go. There you go. There's that
Metazoo,
master. Oh my God.
Master
Do the intro again. I forgot you the king of yoga. I completely forgot. Ken, I'm sorry. Do the intro again. Whoa, 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 welcome.
Nobody gets it, which is the best part.
One of the best people in Louis' Discord.
Stop.
Do you think the best? Is that where you're going with this? I don't understand.
Yeah, Ken is definitely the best. He's the best our Discord server has.
He hacked YouTube basically to find a old video of Louis teaching yoga. I'm not kidding. And he sent us all screenshots from that YouTube video. Link in the comments below for that video. I can control
the comments. I can delete them.
No, but like you won't you post a video in the?
No,
in this?
I will not. I will not.
I got your back. Watch this. Join Louis' Discord. That costs $5 a month, and he'll post it there. It's like Louis OnlyFans, but with yoga.
There's like context here that you're missing.
What's the context?
That my wife was was paying $45 a month for a yoga class. And my point in my video series was that she knows nothing about yoga and that I can learn about it and teach her.
How'd that go?
It was horrible.
Yeah, that's about what I expected.
You know, anything you do on the internet, it's there forever. It's an important lesson for everybody to learn. If you put something on the internet, it's going to be there forever. So, you know
that's like not true.
It is 100% true.
Go find like the old GeoCities. Then they don't exist. They're gone.
GeoCities.
Wow.
Oh, we've reached the point where we talk about something I don't know.
Wow. You can Alta Vista it later. Wow.
Okay. That was a tangent.
You can LimeWire it. You can LimeWire the old.
I know LimeWire.
Good.
I remember being in hotel rooms LimeWiring music in high school.
I'm gonna do that tonight.
Good luck.
That's why I'm in Chicago. It's one of LimeWire some music.
Speaking of music, Super Bowl halftime show.
Great.
I figure it had your name all over it.
They were like, somebody was ragging on 50 for like being fat. I'm like, you guys.
He looked pretty good.
Are you kidding me?
He was hanging upside down too. If you hang upside down, you're gonna look a lot fatter too.
That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, that dude would wreck you. Yes. I also love how it was like always like the fattest guy in the room. Like, he looks a little chubby, doesn't he? I'm like, mother, what? Pass me the wings. What are you talking about? I mean, like,
I cheated hard on my diet on Super Bowl Sunday.
No, calories don't count on Super Bowl Sunday.
Half a pizza, like half of a New York pizza from Papa John's.
We had wings, so we have the barcade, and we ate some wings.
Yeah,
a few.
Jealous. I was home. My wife was working. I was home alone with 2 kids, so I missed. I started watching the game, and then I started bedtime routine, and then when I came back out, my father-in-law was just in my living room for some reason. I didn't know he was coming over. He was just in the living room, and it was like the middle of the third quarter. And I was like, oh, okay, I missed a lot. I missed the whole halftime show. I had to watch it on YouTube.
That's too bad. That's the best part.
Yeah, 100%. I missed a lot of commercials too.
What do you think about Coinbase's commercial with the bouncing QR code?
I didn't see it. Was just I heard about it. It was just a QR code.
Yeah.
Did Bitcoin go up? Did any of my
No.
No? All right. Then I don't care about it.
They can tell you that was so it's very funny. A couple of my colleagues are immediately messaging me like, hey, we're going to write a paper about this ad. Like, what are your thoughts? Like, let's talk about like the different concepts. I'm like, oh God, they hit a home run. Oh God, they hit a home run. Like by the time I woke up, I had like 14 messages from people like trying to figure out like what paper they can write about this dang thing.
It's interesting.
They loved it.
Okay, this has been not TCG talk for quite a while. Let's bring it back in. Go to the Metazoo minute, which can be at least 45
Two
minutes.
things.
We're only 40 minutes in.
Three things. Thing number one, big shout out to the Casters Society. They hosted a major tournament, more than 100 people. And this is what I love. Same number of people who play Battle Hardened at SCG Con, might I add.
There you go.
It's almost like all of this nonsense that people don't play either game is complete bull, and both communities, Magic and Fab, should get over themselves and admit that people can enjoy other games.
Yeah, that line, I got into some other podcasts already this week. Like, I just don't
watch it.
I know you don't. I don't understand why you can't just be excited for people who are excited about it.
They had 100 people at a standalone event just for playing the game. And let me be very clear here. The prizes were not as expensive as the Fab tournament.
No, like there's not even like official prizes yet. It's coming. That
was like Caster Society did a fantastic job with that event.
I'm a big fan of Caster Society. This is why I'm like,
I don't know them, but I'm sure they're a big fan of me too.
Caster Society website is phenomenal.
They're great.
Like, it's like very, very well done. Like the tools for deck building and like just the game right now are just skyrocketing for Metazoo. I love it. Like, people are investing time and energy into it because they love it. It's great. Like, that is the biggest question.
Bingo.
Like, do people care enough about it to invest money, to invest time, to create a website, to create a YouTube channel? Look at like Argos, Argos is gonna have more subs than me and DM Armada and Red Zone Rogue by the end of this year.
God, I gotta beat you all.
Just saying.
That could be true.
Yeah,
he's a great content creator.
He's fantastic.
Now I see Yazzie to catch up to him, and we'll be in business. I mean, like, I don't even think like Caster Society is like officially sponsored by Metazoo. I think they give them like prizes and stuff, but like it's not like a win.
I know they've got some backing. I don't know what their backing is, but they've got some. I mean, like, I don't think it's Metazoo, but like,
I love what you said. Exactly right. Like, that is the sign of a game that will be successful. Is, do people feel that passionate about it that they will invest time? It's funny, like, I'll get into it a little bit. One of the things I teach in my class is like this thing of like decentralized groups and their powers. And I'm like, the three things that you need to understand about a successful, in this case, game, but in my case, company, is you have people who are self-motivated, self-policing, and self-funding. You're going to have a heck of a network that supports you. Those are the three tests for how successful your product will be in the long run.
So wait, this is self.
Do you create a surefire way to make sure your game fails? Is Mike has to reach out to every single person and say, "Will you start a group for me?"
Right.
You need to be self-starting.
Okay. So that's basic. What does self-policing mean?
That means that they have a way to handle bad actors in a reasonable way.
Okay.
It doesn't matter as much for TCGs, I don't think, but I think it helps a little bit. Like, Caster Society is very clear that they want to be a force for positive for Metazoo, and like they will tolerate fair critiques, but you're not going to go in there and just be negative Nancy's.
I see what you're saying.
You have to be fun.
Yeah. I see
like, Mike has been very clear.
I thought you were talking more like if a content creator was being like the other content. Anyway, move on.
Okay, great. Yeah. And self-funding is pretty obvious, right? Like, they need to find a way. Like, that is how you know you're not alone in this world. It's like people's like, "Oh, I want to play in your tournament. Let me throw $5 in to play in your tournament."
Yeah.
Metazoo quickly is getting all three. Fab has all three. This is where like this.
Well, I did this when I quit my job. That's like, for me, like all three of those things. It's like when I quit my job, was like, this is because I care so much about the game. Like, I want to make content, and I can't make content if I have to work a job. So like when
that go well for you, or no? Just taking a poll. Let's
not talk about it. But like when I like that's why. and like that's what makes me excited to see other people growing so much in ability to create stuff. Like I was blown away when I went to the Caster Society website. I was like, this barely exists in this level. Like it's like up to par with what's Magic stuff.
It's up to Magic's. Yeah, absolutely.
Like the standard is blown away. And like,
I mean, like, yeah, Caster Society really is doing a lot of good. And listen, like I think they are Metazoo secret sauce.
Yeah. Metazoo gameplay secret sauce.
And listen, like if you don't play the game and the collectability doesn't matter.
Yeah, I agree. Well, the Unhinged Magi did a phenomenal video about this. I
didn't see it.
There was a lot of dialogue, a lot of there were like we can get into it. There was a lot of back and forth. This was about Fab, but the point of like players are what will grow the game past a collectability standpoint. And there's a lot of dialogue. I mean, people criticizing the way that they got their data from TCG Player. There's a lot of truth to both sides in the comment section, but the point was still true, was that like in order for these games, we're all speculating on the success of the game. And in each market, Fab, Metazoo, D-Spirits, what's the new one? Akora, everyone is speculating on like the success of a game long term. Like that is where the speculative money comes from. And like you need people who are engaged in this way to have that speculative thing. And Caster Society is a perfect answer for that.
Yeah, so shout out to the Caster Society. Great job in that event. Glad it was a huge turnout without any attached secondary event. It was great. So congrats and really good job. I want to talk about Walmart already reordering. I said when he got into Walmart, I said this is the only metric that matters now.
Yeah.
Is does Walmart reorder and how quickly? Because like listen, box prices are a terrible gauge. They go up and down based on stupid buyouts from idiots and things like that. But like you can't like you're not going to manipulate Walmart's data.
Yeah.
People went into Walmart and bought it and they reordered, I think, like in a week.
Right.
So Walmart clearly sees that these products are selling, and that's great. And like, let me be very like, and this is where like Mike is doubling down. He's like, the next major data point I will care about now that I have the Walmart data point is the show and game good.
Yeah.
Because that's the new thing. That'll be the new thing. Just like Fab has to have a big turnout at Nationals, Metazoo has to have a good game and good show.
Yeah.
And they have to have Target reorder now.
Right.
These are the paths the games have chosen to grow.
Right.
And they have to be successful in those paths, or they're just gonna die.
Yeah.
And like the fact that Walmart clearly saw what Metazoo was doing and was like, I need more immediately.
Well, like I just did the math on my phone real quick while we we're talking. I think they're in over 4,000 Walmarts, but I used 4,000. And at my Walmart, which is in West Virginia, they had one display that had 10 of the Walmart packs, which has 3 packs each in it. So I just did the math, and that would be equal. Booster boxes are 36 packs, equal to 3,333 booster boxes essentially sold in 1 week, basically.
I will tell you this: I stopped off at 3 mall. God, I hate you, Mike. I stopped off at 3 Walmarts on my 8,000-hour journey just to look for Metazoo.
Yeah,
true. All 3 had the display thing.
Oh, interesting.
But we're empty.
Yeah. So my Walmart, I left 3 of them. I have not gone back. I was supposed to go back. It's 3 people after I did my video. Like 5 minutes later, 3 people messaged me like, Louis, can you go to your Walmart and pick me up the 3 boxes you left there? I said maybe tomorrow. I did not go. Spoiler alert, I did not go today.
I got some basketball cards instead.
Classic. Did you open
that was a big data point for me. And I said this 2 months ago now, that this is the only data point that matters now is, does the general consumer pick up what Mike is putting down? The answer seems to be yes, which again is completely unsurprising to me, but it's good to know that like I'm not out in la la land thinking that Metazoo is doing a lot right and the market's rejecting it. The market is embracing the zoo along with me, which is great to see. And also, like, congrats to Mike. Like, listen, somebody asked me, should I tell the story?
I don't know what the story is.
All right, you can edit it out later. Write down the time in case you think it's too harsh. Somebody asked me like what my takeaway is on Metazoo going into Walmart, Target, and GameStop and all these stores. I'm like, it shows you two things. It shows you how much Mike gets it and how much these other companies didn't.
Yeah.
How did Final Fantasy not figure out how to get into the stores? How did Final Fantasy, the game, the TCG, not figure out how to get into GameStop?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yep. And Mike figures it out in a year and a half. Like, this is what I'm saying, man. Like,
well, okay, so like people, and I am on this side, but people on a couple of people left a comment of like, this is why do you like this? So isn't this going to compete with your LGS? I was like, no, they had 10 packs. 10
they had almost a booster box.
They had almost a booster box there. I can promise you I have more than a booster box left in my store for people to come in and see. And like when they open the product, they're going to be like, hopefully, some people might open the product and look at it and be like, this isn't for me. If they're like me, they'll open the product and be like, oh my gosh, this is super cool. Maybe they go to metazoogames.com and they see a Mothman on the website and they're like, oh my gosh, I want to pull the Mothman. And then they're like, where can I get?
This is such a specific example.
West Virginia.
I understood that part.
This is where the localization of Metazoo, like people downplay this. Like people don't understand. Like my UPS driver who picks up boxes at the shop and at my house is the same guy. Like no matter where I am, it's the same guy.
The UPS driver for West Virginia. Continue.
I hate you. Anyway, he's got kids, so I've given him a couple boxes of Pokemon for Christmas, and then because I've got 8 billion boxes. And I have his number. Like I text him like me and the UPS driver, we're tight, man. We're bros. Anyway, I gave him some Metazoo and he looked at it, he's like, oh my gosh, is that Mothman? I was like, yes, it is. And like, that is what will, like, I think people like who have their local cryptids, like, I think people downplay how important that is. Yeah. So you go into Walmart, you see this thing. If you're like TCGs, you open it and then you end up saying, okay, where can I get more of it? And then you can't get more at Walmart. It's just going to be the same box. If you want more and a better price and volume, you go to your LGS. It's like, I don't understand why people see the disconnect.
I also listen, I would be very upset with Mike if he put boxes of CN2 at like $70 at Walmart. Yeah. That would be like, we'd be beefing.
Yeah.
But I don't if I can't beat Walmart at their prices, I'm doing it wrong. Like they're not cheap on TCGs.
No.
They're at retail for every TCG that I know of. So if I can't beat them at retail at my store, I'm not offering enough service.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't you can't even get magic boxes at Walmart. Like you just get magic packs.
You can at some Walmart. You also get the fat packs. Oh, I'm sorry, the bundles.
Yeah, you can't say fat packs. They call them George packs. No, then they'd just be old. Dang it. Oh, double roasted. Okay.
Their lungs would be gone.
You gotta bring them on airplanes.
Yeah. I mean,
ground ship them. They can the airplane.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, I was very happy to hear they reordered so fast. I was completely unsurprised. It didn't surprise me.
So what will be wild to me is, do we see a different promo? Like, are we going to see?
So they're cracking CN2 boxes.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Which means CN2.
Yep, I get
not going to be a lot of boxes.
Yeah, if they're burning through 3,000 a week. That's like 5 weeks, and they'll.
It's going to be something Mike has to work through because wilderness is going to be an issue with that. I bet.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it'll be interesting if they do a different promo too. That's the type of stuff that okay, I don't know where the line is for that. I don't think one promo is line. I don't know if there's like at some point how many different promos do you give to Walmart, but
Metazoo likes their promos.
They love their promos.
The Metazoo loves promos,
which is cool because Metazoo people love promos.
I love promos.
I'm not a massive fan of promos, to be honest. But I am a massive, like, this is the difference. I'm not a massive fan of promos, but I'm a massive fan of Mothman. I'm a massive fan of Piazza Bird. I will go out of my way to buy anything with a Mothman and anything with a Piazza Bird. I just opened another 8 cases of Pin Club to get the it's my safe, to get the other Mothman different art.
Oh, wait, while we're on this, shout out to King Pokemon. I got my D-Brews EA shirts today at home. Even though I'm not home. Thank you for talking to D-Brews for me. I'm sure it was all you. Thank you, Gary.
There you go. Anyway, like, I don't know.
I listen. I like the fact that Walmart is like, I need more now. Listen, Metazoo's in a good spot.
Yep, I agree.
Great to see.
I want to talk a little bit about CN1. Can we talk a little bit about CN1? Do we have time? We're at 56 minutes.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna get me a. I can hear you. I'm gonna get a can of water though. I'm literally dying.
I'm just supposed to talk to myself here on the podcast.
No, you're fine. Go ahead. I can still hear you and talk. I just can't
we got Walking George. Your microphone cable is that long? That's hilarious.
Hold on.
And are your headphones not plugged into your computer?
No, they're plugged into my microphone.
This is wild. I've never seen this.
What do you want to talk about?
This should be the thumbnail. Oh my gosh, you look
What do you want to talk about? My chair is stained.
Oh my gosh,
Gross.
I'm making that the start. That's the start of the video. Okay. CN1 boxes. So I had this, like, I was just watching the market this week, and what happened is a store who does primarily like high-end, like I follow him on Facebook primarily for high-end magic, right? And he sent me a message and he was like, "Hey Louis, do you want to buy any CN1?" I said, "No, dude, sorry. I just traded for a lot of CN1. I have a lot of CN1 right now. I've been just trading things into CN1 box openings and stuff like that." Anyway, so I said, "But I've been watching the market and CN1 seems to be flying at like $850 to $900 a box." He said, "Okay." So then I sent him the Facebook group. So he posts in the Facebook group, and within like 10 minutes, like he offers, I think he offered like 6 boxes at $850 or $900 or whatever. Within like 10 minutes, he had like 5 comments, PM. I don't know if they actually sold. I don't know the details, anything like that. But I was just watching, I was just like evaluating how did we get here? Because CN1 boxes have been flatlined at like $750 to $1,000. We'll just call it that. Like $750 to $1,000 for now, like 3-4 months, something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, why? What's going on? Because they're so liquid, yet they stick at this price. And what I came to was like the organic growth of a booster box of CN1 is so different from some of these other TCGs that we're seeing jump up to, tons of money. And there's a little bit of a ceiling because of Kickstarter. I understand that. But the CN1 boxes, I just feel like their growth was organic, where like that $1,000 price point in my mind is a big barrier. And I think if you want to compare it to Flesh and Blood, we saw this threshold a while back for Flesh and Blood where boxes at like $800, but then we had like external things that happened where people came in and bought stores out and bought massive amounts, and it kind of threw this market into like a tizzy. Whereas in CN1, like a lot of the boxes are moving on like eBay and individuals buying them and box breakers buying them and like all this thing. So it's just interesting to like evaluate like I think a lot of people who are buying, I know I'm like rambling now. I think a lot of people who are buying a CN1 box right now are not just buying it to keep sealed, they're also buying it to open. Whereas like the average person who's buying an alpha box at $4,000 or at 3,800 is just keeping it sealed. Like there's not that
the EV on those boxes is remarkably different as well.
Right.
What has a higher EV? A $1,000 box of Metazoo or a $4,000 box of
probably about the same.
Yeah. I mean, like, and that's because like, with Fab, you're betting on a card.
Yeah.
With Metazoo, you're not. Like there's you're going to get 20 hits that are going to be worth $500 to $100 each.
Yeah, Mothman at $400 to $500.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know,
but you don't have that like the heart.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have.
Well,
you
have the red, you have the blue ink, but I don't factor that.
You don't have to hit that though.
But I don't even factor that into the EV.
No, what?
I don't.
FUD.
You have to open 120. You have to open 250 boxes to hit it. Look, you can't factor that into the EV.
Yeah, if only there was a way to divide a price by 120, then we'd really.
What's the price of it? Like, it doesn't even affect it. It's like $4.
It's like $8,000.
Okay, so $8,000.
No, Redding's probably like 10 now. Probably do 10.
So it's $35. That's not that much to add to an EV. I'm not adding that to the EV.
FUD.
No.
So
look right here, everyone. Louis hates Metazoo. Louis is trying to kill Metazoo. He wants the game to die.
If that's not the intro, I'm out. I
gotta put the video of you in the background. We'll do both.
That's fine.
We'll do both intros.
Okay, great. Double intro. Welcome to the double intro episode. I mean, like, you know, this is where I think Metazoo has taken more of the Magic approach and less of the Pokemon approach, which I like.
Yeah.
Which is you get more hits that are worth less money per box.
Yeah.
And I think that feels a lot better. It also lets you sell packs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like selling packs of Fab or Pokemon is kind of brutal.
Really?
Well, it's
I never even thought to sell packs of either of those.
I do both,
I had some packs at my last major Fab, like the ProQuest thing that I did offsite, but nobody bought them, so I don't think I would do it again.
That's because you took all the cold foils and they all knew it.
I did not. They were all unlimited, so I couldn't do that.
Well, then I know. All right, never mind.
Somebody at Vegas flipped it and ripped it with an Arcane first pack and ripped a Arknight or Grass of the Arknight. Crazy idiots. I hate that game.
I hate it.
That's not allowed to be played in my store. Like, I hate it.
I hate the game, but I probably played it at your store because I think you hate it more than me by a little bit. I'll be honest with you.
Like, it grinds my wasting money. Like, it grinds. Like, I sell on TCG Player cards down to 50 cents. Yeah. Because at 50 cents, I make
$10.
I've done the math. At 50 cents, I make 10 cents when I sell the card.
Less than like $5 into the calf you go. I'll be honest. There's I had like a heart to heart with myself. Like, can I really put cold foils in chaff? Yes, I can.
Yes, I can. Well, you have cold foil commons still in your WTR chaff sometimes, didn't you? Until like a couple months ago.
Phil got a foil Majestic from Alpha. It was his. It was in chaff. He got it for free.
Good job, Phil.
I don't charge for chaff. I'm not a jerk. Just because it was chaff when it went in.
That's awesome.
If someone wants to go digging, they can go digging.
I know. I just, while I was evaluating, I was like, man, I love the
tomfoolery that you see in other games.
Yeah, like what we're seeing in a lot of this Kickstarter stuff, where I'm just like, why on earth is it worth $1,500? There's no way.
I think some of these games are going to have a rough entry.
Well, it's like, at what point for some of these Kickstarters, right? Where it's like, and I mean, first off, I have backed more Kickstarters this year, maybe not than George, but probably than the average viewer of this. Definitely than you.
I only backed 2 this year.
Oh, I've backed like almost every TCG that's been on Kickstarter because like that's my channel. Like I want to play them.
Genesis and Metazoo playing cards.
I back them for like the is this fun videos. Like I consider it a business expense, but like, you know,
I hope the IRS does.
They better.
They better.
The IRS doesn't get to decide that. I get to decide that.
The IRS doesn't get to decide what's fun.
Come at me, bro.
Oh God, don't come at me, bro. Don't come at me, bro.
But like I just like when 100, like imagine if Metazoo got backed with 150 people, and then like before it even got delivered, boxes were selling for $2K. Like it's just not like the sustained growth of Metazoo and the sustained remaining at that price point to me is super impressive for the market. You just don't see it super often. It's just not volatile at all. It's I just think it paints a really good picture for CN1 in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
And Whatnot is popping off. I got approved for Whatnot this week. I don't know if I'm ever gonna do it.
Oh.
Should I do it?
Yeah, you gotta do it. Oh, we gotta do. Oh, you're gonna have to edit this.
Why?
Speaking of awesome things, let's talk about your Legions bundle.
Why are we editing this?
We gotta put this in the front so people see it.
Were we talking about awesome things? Is this just gonna be like
you gotta edit that in? Be like, all right, well, Louis, what's your favorite thing?
We talked about the Legion bundle a little bit last week. So yeah, it should be in the next.
Not how you pump your videos.
Should be in the next 10 days or so. We're gonna have a Legions bundle. It'll be 24-hour notice to patrons.
Do you do the 24-hour notice thing?
Well, it'll be like patrons will have 24 hours to purchase it before the public does, and they'll also have a discount. Patrons will get a discount.
What's the discount?
It's like 10%. It's gonna be $25 less. I might have a discount if you buy more than two, or buy more than one. But it's got 3 kitchen table TCG items. It's got a play mat. It's got a life counter, which is like a custom life counter that can be used in other games too. And then it's got a promo card. They're like special foiling. Like think of it as like they're cold foiling. It's me. It's on a card. God, it's crazy. Look how far we've come. You know,
I will not be purchasing this. I will not be purchasing this. So let me ask you. I don't get
two first edition boxes.
I don't get a patron code. That's why.
And all 4 of their 2-player battle decks, which all have like special first edition artwork.
I like that art.
Yeah. So these are. I love the artwork on these. These are all. Like when they reprint these, they'll have completely different art in them.
That's I like that.
It's really cool. I think all games should run with that business model.
If you like X game, you will like Legions. What is the X game?
It's not like, I mean, there's not a resource system. Like you can. Yeah, it's cool. Like your life is your resource.
Oh, like you're spending your life to go down?
Well, you don't. It's like it makes so much sense. Like in real life. You don't have like a life meter that's like, oh, I lost this amount of, like when you can sustain an amount of damage, and when you sustain all the damage your body can take, you die. And that's how Legions is. So you start with 0 and you go up. When you play, there's certain cards that cost you like, you know, blood, whatever, and you pay that amount, and then you can like accidentally kill yourself. If you have to play a card, you can like, oh, yeah. So it's cool. It plays a lot like
a video game almost.
Yeah, it's like it feels like it when you're playing. It feels a little bit like Magic because you have you have creatures out on a battlefield, but then you have like some a little bit like Yu-Gi-Oh where you have some trap cards that you can play up, but there's are also just kind of like instants. Yeah, it's good. It's a lot of fun. Robbie and I have been like Robbie's all in, like he's all in.
Thinking to buy your bundle.
I'm probably just gonna give him a bundle. Robbie deserves, like he deserves.
That's true. You put him through a lot of bad games. You got to give him a free one of the good.
So
games.
Like this is what I think people don't understand. For every game that I offer a bundle for or do a video for, there's like 10 games that Robbie and I play that we don't like.
Calls with Dr. Louie are when he just got done playing a terrible game.
Yeah,
and he's like, dude, have you heard of X? I've never heard of this game. Nobody's ever heard of this game. It is like a dude in his kitchen scribbling down attack +1. He's like, don't buy it. I'm like,
no, like I've had
some
calls with these guys. They're really cool. And I say this about all TCGs right now. Is this like investable? Are you going to quadruple 5,000 extra money? That's not what I'm saying. But like, if you are like it's a fun time. And like what I would advise people, if you care about investing, like at least crack open a 2-player kit, keep the rest of it sealed, and like enjoy it, because like I think that experience for itself can be really fun. And then the kitchen table TCG stuff's fun if you like the channel. I don't know why, but if you like the channel, you know, it's good. So I'm excited about. I'm super excited about it. So.
I will vouch that he is super excited about it. It is like
seeing your face on a card's kind of cool. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to. I'm not going to go to my head, but especially that the image they used of me, I obviously hadn't shaved in a couple of months. I look like an idiot.
That's actually true.
You're gonna love it. Have you seen it? Did I show it to you?
You showed it to me. Did I see it?
Anyway, yeah. All right, back to your regular scheduled content.
That was it. That's how we're gonna end, I thought.
Oh, But we never ended. You said you wanted me to cut that in.
Oh, well, whatever. Put it wherever you want.
That was it. It was at the end of the video.
That was it.
Everyone, thank you for watching.
This was either really great or really terrible. I don't really know which.
It was a good one. We talked about lots of good things. We weren't as angry as we usually are.
I'm never angry.
I
got love in my heart.
Sometimes you get a little boomery.
Are boomers? It's like really angry in your head.
I just really like making fun of your age lately. I think ever since the King Pokemon episode, I've been on this train.
I'll be honest, it was a lot funnier before I had pneumonia.
It was a lot funnier. Everyone, I would like you to know before you get upset with me, I had a very serious conversation the other day with George in which I said, "Are you really worried about it?" And he said, "No, not at all." I said, "Great, because I'm going to make fun of it a lot."
Yeah, like it's funny because like the only thing I don't like, and like this is just like I don't trust anybody. Like 5 days of medicine, I feel like I needed more.
You'll be fine.
I think I should call him and be like, "Hey man, you gotta like give me some more of the good stuff."
He'd be like, "Trust me."
If I went down to Tijuana, they'd give me 30 days. That's all I'll tell you.
I think medicine has come a long way since the 1940s when you probably last had pneumonia.
Like, what? He didn't even have the leeches. Like, what is this nonsense? How am I going to let out the blood? I'll be honest. Like, hearing him say, like, "Oh, I think you have pneumonia." I'm like, "Wait, what? Am I old?" Like,
no, I mean that's a common side effect for COVID.
Yeah. I mean, like, so it's funny. Like, you know, my wife probably was sicker than I was with COVID. Now fine. Like, I was okay. Then I woke up one night like with this terrible cough, and like I was like, "Oh no!" Like I'm like I am distinctly getting worse.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you know, I do medical stuff with ALS, so I hang out in the hospital a lot. And like I know that like the 10-day mark with COVID is like this day where like you either get way better or way worse. I was like, "Oh crap, it's like day 9." And so I was like, "Oh no." I woke up like and I could feel it in my lungs.
Nice.
And I was like, "Man, I'm living my best life."
I've not had to deal with that. I don't know how. Like, man, Lord's calling you home, but the Lord is blessing. My wife has worked 4 to 5 days a week since the start of the pandemic in the ER. Yeah. As a physician assistant, like in the ER.
So you know what's funny is I went to the ER. I went to the hospital almost 3 times a week. Before the vaccine, because I had to go there for my shoulder. Never got it.
Yeah.
But like, so they think I got the Omicron 2.0.
Well, yeah, it's just super spreading now. It's crazy.
Oh well. All right, this was fun.
Hey, we'll be at Collecticon. We should pump this. We'll be at Collecticon, hanging out with.
Hopefully, I'll be there.
You better be there.
I'm there, or I'm there in spirit.
You better be. I'll be at Collecticon. Hopefully, I'll be there. I'll be at Collecticon. We'll be hanging out, and we'll do some episodes from there. I think it'll be fun.
How will you recognize me, though?
The Hawaiian shirt. You gonna wear Ken's shirt? Can you wear Ken's shirt on the podcast sometime?
I can probably do that. Not on the podcast, but I can wear it around Collecticon for half day. I can do that.
I'll take a picture and send it to him. Ken,
that's fine.
Maybe Ken will come to Collecticon if you wear his shirt.
I have to try it on. It seemed a little tight. Looked small.
Makes sense to me. All right. Are we done? That was fun. Everyone, may the zoo be with you. And remember to be
also
kind.
with you.
And remember to be kind to the people
completely
around
botched this ending.
All right, you want to try it again? Everyone, hey, may the zoo be with you.
You got to do the first part. You got to do the other part first. Then you can end with "and may the zoo be with you." Like you've done every episode up until this one.
All right. Remember to be kind to the people around you. May the zoo be with you.
And also with you. Great ending, Louis. It's like we do this every week. How did you mess that up? That's amazing.